Pleasant good evening and welcome to Newshour with me, Cynthia Kamara. Our top stories tonight. President Bill joins Muslims to observe this year's Eid prayers at State Lodge. Chief Imam of the Milton Magai Technical University Masjid calls on Muslims to join fight against substance abuse. And the Ministry of Health and partners develop a national policy on traditional and contemporary medicine. Well, all these stories are all lined up in this edition of Newshour, and don't forget, you can join us live on Facebook, channel 31, and you can catch us there with our news podcast. All the stories will be lined up in the next few hours. Well, we start with stories to end the holy month of Ramadan. President Julius Maada and the First Lady have joined the Muslim congregation at State Lodge to observe this year's Eid prayers to end the holy month of Ramadan. Eid al-Fitr prayers are highly significant for Muslims in Sierra Leone and around the world. Eid al-Fitr means the celebration of breaking the fast. In Arabic, it's celebrated as the Ramadan culminates and crescent moon in sight. Our Masiri was part of the prayer in our report.
Eid al-Fitr is a significant festival in Islam celebrated with great favor by Muslims worldwide. This auspicious occasion follows the conclusion of Ramadan every year. The Eid prayers at State Lodge gather different sheikhs and imams in the Muslim communities around the western area. The participants felt fulfilled, ending the holy month of Ramadan, and participated in prayers with their head of state. During the sermon, Sheikh Umar Bangura, who led the prayers, told the congregation that the holy month of Ramadan is very important for devoted Muslims across the globe that participated and also contributed towards the month. Sheikh Bangura disclosed that Sierra Leoneans are religious tolerant and they will continue to pray for that kind of unity among Sierra Leoneans, calling on the citizens to be obedient, have love for one another, and respect their leader.
What we call a big, it will be you and not for stingy. Allah, a word in the Quran, he replied, Father. Allah said, قد سمع الله قول الذين قالوا إن الله فقير ونحن أغنياء سنكتب ما قالوا وقتلهم الأنبياء بغير الحق ونقول ذوقوا العذاب الحريق. Allah said, the people were quite bigger to me, when I say me agreed. He said, I don't state this statement, I don't put that to file. I could put you tomorrow to a very hot punishment because me God, not to God wait for point I say agreed. So Ramadan what you can teach me? Follow Shia. Prophet say mean asbab dukhulul jannah. Say some of the things that will make you go heaven quick. He say what in mutan for Shia food with people. Now that's why people guide me. Greed and self-hate. We sometimes they say, "Koti tranka." The Ramadan doesn't continue tranka. Now, those people are sometimes greed and selfish. Where we they can't have a cut fast. Who are they deny? Who know they get food? Who mama and papa? Let go continue for blessing for me.
President Julius Maada commended the imams, including the Muslim congregation, for observing the holy months of Ramadan and all prayers offered for the people and the country. President Bio highlighted that all what they fasted for will be rewarded, as fasting is also another key means of asking God for their heart desires during the month of Ramadan.
Unity we need for go before this country. May God give you. The one day way they bring this unity, may God push them far from way. Salon we don't decide say we go before. We they ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for make it be with we on this good path. All the one day where they try to bring confusion, the one day where they spread tribalism, like how the Imam say, may God push them far from we. And make we set self-land for make sure so we not listen to them people that day. We honor one people. And Allah make we know and serve, pray to them. Like what will they do so? I hope and pray to God, say, all which we pray for during this holy month. May God make we get up.
Eid al-Fitr is the time of peace, joy, and communal unity, marking the end of the sacred month of Ramadan. It is a period for spiritual contemplation, gratitude, and celebration within the Muslim community. For SABC TV News Hour in Freetown, Hawa Mosibe reporting.
The chief imam of the Milton Magai Technical University Masjid, Sheikh Ismail Ibrahim Kuruma, has called on fellow Muslims to continue in love and unity even after the holy month of Ramadan. He went on that it was mandated upon them to also extend love to non-Muslims, therefore the need for them to join in the fight against substance abuse that has led many young people into what he called an evil deed of the flesh. He made this call at the Milton Magai field in Godrich during the usual morning prayers to celebrate Eid and making the end of Ramadan. Dennis Fraser report.
وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي صحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
The morning prayer symbolized the end of the blessed month of Ramadan. This saw Muslims in their hundreds from various Jama around the Godrich community converging to offer supplication to the Supreme God Allah for accepting their fasting and prayers of atonement. Delivering the sermon, the Imam Sheikh Arun Ture from Masjid Bilal encouraged Muslims to continue in their goodness of Ramadan throughout the rest of the year and not to deviate from the teachings of the Holy Quran. He called on parents to take full responsibility of their children, especially against peer influence that might lead them to partake in harmful substances such as kush.
If it in this country, because of the friends they will begin and they keep, you know, they see post the work and they sleep. Post the work and they sleep. First and they sleep. But now they work and they sleep. You know they know self where they go. If they go no more. So me and you know responsibility.
Reiterating the significance of peace and unity, especially during this crucial time in the nation, Chief Imam of the Milton Magai Technical University, who doubles as the head of Department for Religious Studies, Sheikh Ismail Ibrahim Kuruma, underscored the significance of unity, citing it was a mandate by the Holy Quran.
As what you were saying, not even differentiate who is a permanent secretary or who is a minister or who is that, we are all sitting together. That is the beauty of Islam, to bring us together. These are some of the things that signify the origin of us all and where we are going to end. In fact, I don't know whether we are listening to the Imam when he was saying, this reminds us always the day when everybody will resurrect, will be resurrected before Allah. We'll be all equal. No chief, no paramount chief, not everybody, but you are all human beings.
Sheikh Ismail Ibrahim Kuruma also reaffirmed the call by President Bio for Sierra Leoneans to be united against drug and substance abuse, which was now prevalent among young people in the country. This, he added, was an evil that God will help the nation to overcome. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Earlier, owners of various tailoring shops in Western Freetown have raised concern over what they refer to as low turnout of customers ahead of Eid al-Fitr holiday compared to last year. This, they say, affects them negatively. Dennis Fraser has this report.
Many residents in Freetown are Muslims, and during the festival of Eid, which is usually celebrated with early morning prayers, wearing of one's nicest clothes is common during this particular occasion. In fact, for some Muslims, it is believed that this is the best time of the year to put on one's nicest apparel to suit the occasion. But how has business been for those who are in the business of sewing cloth for people who go out for prayers?
At the top tailoring boutique in New Englandville, staff had little or nothing to do, and some were even sleeping. Abdul, the owner of the boutique, said business has been very slow this year. He was, however, optimistic of a better flow of business during the subsequent Islamic holidays.
Tell God thank you no more. That's much more.
We say thanks to God, although in the past we used to have more customers, especially in the last week of Ramadan. This place should have been flooded with customers. This is not the case.
Tell God thank you. Yes. Well, no one say nothing.
One of his staff, Pose Bangura, attributed the slow business to the current economic situation in the country.
Like last year and all the previous holidays by this time, we used to pass the night in the shop just to be able to deliver on time to the number of customers who come here for our service.
At the correctional service tailoring department at New Englandville, Freetown, workers were busy sewing cloths for other customers rather than the Muslims, who usually put pressure on them. Head of the institution, Abdurrahman Toure, said some of their customers could not even make full payments yet.
About this particular time, we sleep in a year last year. Day and night we work, at least for them.
By this time last year, we were under intense pressure. We used to work day and night so that we can be able to sew different attire for our customers to be used for prayers.
Most of the things are for the soul. Until somebody gets buried,
both the owner of MB Tailoring Shop at Pike Street and Jalos Design on Willoughby Lane, Brookfields, disclosed that they have been struggling to pay some of their staff because of the limited customers they get recently amid the Ramadan month. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Also, healthcare for the aged and its partners, Sierra Leone Muslim Jamaat Australia has provided cash and food items to over 600 Muslims in Kailang district. 7 communities, including Dia, Kenya, Koindu, Koinduma, among others, benefited from the gesture. Christiana Kamar was there.
The initiative to provide food items and financial assistance to those in need and those living in hard-to-reach areas demonstrated commitment to supporting vulnerable communities. Zakat, as it is called in Islam, is vital for Muslims to address the immediate needs of the needy, also aligned with spiritual values of their faith. CEO and founder Healthcare for the Aged organization, Dr. Mohamed Ba, said the provision of the food items and cash to vulnerable persons was in line with the Feed Salon flagship program of the government.
We are here to provide rice and also money so that they can cook and feed their family, so that they'll be happy during the Eid al-Fitr. That is the prayer day. Well, we have been all over the place. We just chose Kailang. The last Eid, we were at Koinadigo district, to be precise, Fadigu, and today we are here again. We want to touch all over this country.
Residents from Mamuto, Manosewalu, and Koindu communities lauded the move by Healthcare for the Aged for coming to their aid.
Today I will not get food for it.
We don't have food to eat, and even to raise money is an issue. So we are very happy to receive these items. We are appealing to the government to help us because we are suffering.
We really appreciate you now, and what you don't can do. Let do more past this one, we suffer.
One day we not get this.
We have never received such donations, but today we have received cash and food items. So we are grateful for this venture.
The one we begin this program, let God help them. Let God protect them back. The government way they under. Let them. Anything they want to do, let them put one under. Let God tanta them mashibu.
They called on other humanitarian organizations to emulate the move by Healthcare for the Aged organization, which received funds from Sierra Leone Muslim Jamaat Australia to embark on such venture.
La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, la ilaha
For SLBC News, Christiana Kamara reporting.
Well, now in stories on health issues, the Ministry of Health, together with the Sierra Leone Traditional Healers Association and other partners, have developed a comprehensive national policy on traditional and contemporary medicine as a way to complement modern medication. This came after the conclusion of a 2-day stakeholder engagement on the review on the draft document, which will be submitted to Parliament for ratification. The document is also in line with World Health Organization's declaration to achieve health care for all. Dennis Fraser has this report.
This represents an individual registered and licensed.
The Sierra Leone National Policy, Strategic Plan, Legislation and Code of Practice for Traditional and Contemporary Medicine seeks to navigate the intricate relationship between traditional and Western medicine, recognizing traditional practices' integral role, outlining a comprehensive code of practice for traditional and contemporary medicine that complements modern medicines, seem to be a sure bet for a better health care for all.
Traditional approach has a solid understanding of this problem. It's a societal problem. It's not today we use drugs. We've been using drugs for more than 3 million years. But what is happening now as a society problem with the youths, if you think that the traditional medicines or practitioners have a solution, that's not the right word. There's an approach. Because when you have to cut addiction from someone's life, we need to look into other parameters, the lifestyle, the mind frame, the alimentation, that's what you call the food. So it's not just giving somebody drug to say stop consuming kush. Is that what they say? No, it will not work. So the traditional healer needs the working collaboration with either a psychologist, a psychotherapist, or a dietitian.
Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Charles Senesi, noted that after several consultations with traditional healers across the country, it was also time to have a thorough engagement with other sector players in health, including medical health practitioners, experts in herbal medicines, lawmakers and the technical working group in order to prepare our legislative instruments that will govern the practices of traditional medicine as part of primary health care. He went on that the policy formulation engagement was needed for professional and scientific exchange of ideas.
We are really going to go ambitious, we are going to go big, because we have recognized the important roles the traditional medicine plays in the healthcare delivery system. And as Minister of Health, which is the custodian of the health of the country, we very much support scientifically based, evidence-based on science of traditional medicine, and that's the way to go. We have a lot of active pharmaceutical ingredients in some of the medications that will be given to people like Bangba for malaria. We want to bring a bit of science to it.
It is hoped that when the document will be taken to Parliament, it will be speedily enacted because of its significance in boosting the health sector. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Epilepsy Association in Sierra Leone has engaged media practitioners on the need to collaborate and address misconceptions regarding epilepsy, which is often perceived by the public as a demonic condition rather than a medical one. The engagement also focused on the need to domesticate the intersectorial global action plan on epilepsy and other neurological conditions. Mohamed Kuruma report.
The press briefing was specifically geared towards updating the public about the misconceptions people have about epilepsy, especially perceiving it as a demonic possession. The engagement with media practitioners also served as a way of creating awareness about the establishment of the Intersectorial Global Action Plan, which seeks to address challenges faced by persons with epilepsy.
We brought these media houses here so that we can inform them. By extension, they also will inform others that epilepsy indeed is a medical condition, and we are prepared to make up policies that will support our fight or the challenge we have with persons who faces so many challenges, and of course the stigma being attached to the condition.
He went further to call on governments to make epilepsy one of its key priority areas. Project Officer, Epilepsy Association of Sierra Leone, Michelle Thompson, called on the media to help in disseminating credible information about epilepsy, thereby dispelling misinformation among members of the public. As it stands, Epilepsy Association of Sierra Leone is calling on governments to domesticate the Intersectorial Global Action Plan 2022 to 2031 on epilepsy and other neurological conditions. For SLBC, Mohamed Kouma reporting from Freetown.
Still on health issues, Seed Global Health Sierra Leone has boosted the McKinney Regional Hospital with medical consignment. The other items worth over $11,000. The support was part of the organization's continued efforts to help improve on healthcare delivery in the region. Hassan Fori Kamara reports from McKinney.
Speaking to SLBC at the Regional Government Hospital in McKinney, the Country Director Seed Global Health Sierra Leone, Mustafa Soni, said the program, which started with the regional hospital, has had significant impact and that in the last 2 years, they have given extensive training to midwives on various skills to enhance effective health service delivery.
So that's why we said, despite the fact that our emphasis lies on the education and the training, we'll come in a little way we can to support you so that you'll be able to ensure that this patients, they got the necessary supply, the necessary drugs that can save those lives. So the main is to make sure we continue to improve that particular maternal outcome. And we are very proud of that.
He said in 2021, maternal mortality was alarming. However, with concerted efforts, it has been reduced to 60%. Mr. Soni said Seed Global Health drew success in their work in McKinney, so they decided to expand the services to the southern region in mid-2022. He said the donation was not only vital to the overall work of the hospital, but it was also a boost to the trainings they offer to the midwives, adding that the knowledge gained could fully be exhibited with the right equipment they have supplied.
We are very delighted to our donors back in the United States of America who are really providing this opportunity for us. They are giving the money for you to have these things. These materials we are seeing in front of you, it was over $11,700. Right? They require good consumables, drugs, and medical supply.
The country director of Seed Global Health Sierra Leone said they were working on modalities to stretch their coverage to all the regions and the western area by 2025. The Chief Nursing and Midwife Officer, Ministry of Health, Mary Fuller, said the donation would give speed and quality to their work. She expressed gratitude to Seed Global for their overwhelming support to not only McKinney, but also other places to improve in the health sector in the country. She encouraged health workers to double up their efforts and always operate as a team. The Medical Superintendent, Regional Hospital, McKinney, Dr. Joseph Kamanda Sisi, said the materials came at a time needed most. He said they would play a vital role in the day-to-day running of the hospital. Among them were equipment and medicines dynamic for categories in the free health care.
The Ministry of Health, through the expanded program on immunization, joined other high malaria burden countries in Africa to apply for the malaria vaccine introduction. In December 2023, the country received the first tranche of the 550,000 vaccines, and the launch of the vaccine is expected to take place on April 12th this year in Pujol District. Program Manager, Expanded Program on Immunization, Dr. Desmond Mada-Kangbe, spoke more to Dennis Fraser.
Well, so far we are going to target 15 districts, and the whole of the 15 districts will be targeted, with the exception of Western area, urban.
What are the targeted areas, to be specific?
Well, for now, as we said, we are targeting 15 districts across the country, with the exception of Western area, urban, and we'll be targeting all and communities within those 15 districts. Communities where there are health facilities, and those health facilities have their catchment population. So, for example, if we go to Falaba, the whole of Falaba district will be targeted. Vaccines will be distributed to all facilities doing and vaccination, routine vaccines that have been given vaccines, and then those facilities will also deliver the malaria vaccine together with all other vaccines.
Now, safety around the vaccine is no longer a question, but for a lot of people who are still of the opinion that they have this fear mongering among themselves when it comes to, taking of vaccines. We saw that, quite recently with the COVID vaccines and other vaccines that have been in the open space for the public. What will you say if you had to speak to that?
Well, one thing I could say, the vaccine is safe. This vaccine has been administered to more than 3 million people in 3 countries, and there were no serious concerns. We are not ruling the fact that, because normally you react to vaccines, people do react to vaccines sometimes, but this vaccine is really very safe. And of course, there may be minor issues, but there have been no major issue of concern. And to assure the public, we have what we have done is we have set up committees or reactivated committees across the 15 districts called the Adverse Event Following Immunization Committees, AFI committees, to follow up on each and every child receiving the malaria vaccines. We have engaged communities, we have engaged CHWs working in communities to report any case of AFI, like any child having a reaction after taking vaccine. Not only the malaria vaccines, we have been doing it for COVID vaccines, for other vaccines, but we have strengthened it since the malaria vaccine is a new vaccine. And we have also ensured we have drugs available at district and then hospitals so that any child that will have any reaction will be treated free. So those engagements are ongoing across the country because it's possible. It's just like we eating food. I may eat something and I'm fine, and you may eat something and you react to it. But we want to ensure whosoever reacts to any vaccine is being taken care of. But this vaccine has been used in in 3 countries, and now even 2 other countries have introduced this vaccine, and so far there have been no major concern around the malaria vaccine. And also as a country, we are forming a research group to also follow up on the children, a cross-section of children that will be receiving this vaccine.
Now, consequently, this vaccine, the first phase of this vaccine is mainly for pregnant women and children under 5. Considering the seriousness of malaria, a disease, is there plans for future, to roll it for even adults of other sex and ages?
Well, for now, the malaria vaccine will be focusing more on children under 2 and not pregnant women. And of course, the vaccine will be taken in 4 doses. So the entry point into the schedule is at 6 months. So children that are 6 months will take the first vaccine dose at 6 months. Then they will take a second dose at 7, a third at 8 months, then a final dose at 18 months. So we are focusing for now on children because that's where most are dying as a result of malaria. And we have seen from our data that the majority of the children dying as a result of malaria. So we want to focus on that group for now, ensure they are safe, ensure they don't die as a result of malaria. And also the malaria vaccine is a new vaccine. As such, the vaccine is not available in huge amount nationwide. So maybe in the future, and with the leadership and direction of the Ministry of Health, as we go, we may expand on the vaccine, but for now we are targeting on that age group because that's where the majority are dying as a result of malaria.
Well, that was the program manager, expanded program on immunization, Dr. Desmond Madakangbai, on malaria vaccine, giving us updates as the country has received the first tranche of 550,000 malaria vaccine. Well, from health, we move over to Vice President. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo has commissioned the Leon Rock Metal Group's 30 million tons per annum processing and heavy fuel oil power plant, which is a $500 million investment. The plant, when completed, will double the production of iron ore and increase revenue generation for the country. Hauna Patrikama has the story.
The Paramount Chief, the Sungaya Chiefdom, PC Abubakar Kuma, said they were pleased with the company's continued expansion, especially in establishing new plants, and assured of their commitment to supporting the operation of the company in their communities. The Chief Technical Officer, Leon Rock Metal Group, Salim Silla, described the company as the ambassador of change in the mining sector in the country, as $500 million will be invested in the new plants.
Stereotypes have long woven themselves into the fabric of our thoughts, subtly shaping our judgment and limiting our potential. But I propose that it is time to break free from these constraints, to reshape our mindset and to embrace a new era of understanding and inclusivity. Stereotypes are a silent saboteur of progress and prosperity.
President Leonwok Metal Group, Colin King, said in less than a year they were almost completing the 10 million tons per annum plant, and they had the desire to build a steel and recycle plant that will make Sierra Leone export products to other countries. Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources Julius Mata said the decision to award a mining contract to Leonwok Metal Group was not a mistake and highlighted the progress the company has made. He said government will ensure they provide the opportunity for young people to acquire training that will gain them employment in the mining sector. The Chinese ambassador to Sierra Leone, Wang Jing, said Sierra Leone was an important supplier of iron ore to China, adding that China's Sierra Leone-friendly cooperation has extended to the Leonwok Metal Group. The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallo, said the launch of the plant signifies government's transformation agenda, especially for the benefit of the country and communities that host mining companies.
This is a very big thing for the country. This is a very big thing for the mining sector. For create 14,000 jobs, which are young people then go there, then go get work. And for create opportunity for increased government royalty, for increase the CDF to the community. This is a big thing. Then make we all carry today. Boku minister and there, honorable and there, big people and there, paramount chiefs them from other districts, they all there for can grace this occasion because we believe say this is a very important event. And one thing His Excellency, thank you for the vision we get for this mining sector and the vision we get for this country. Una thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
He said the plant will increase the royalty of the company and increase the revenue of the government, noting an additional 14,000 job creation by the company come 2025. Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallo said government's vision was not only on education, health and other areas, but also on the mining and infrastructure sectors. For SLBC News, Auna Patukama reporting.
Well, we now take stories on land and advocacy. National Land Commission has engaged local authorities, women and youth groups, among others, in the Western Area role on Customary Land Rights Act of 2022 and the National Land Commission Act of 2022. The twin legislation seeks to sensitize issues on land administration across the country. Joseph Toure report.
The sensitization on the land governance reforms in Waterloo community and its surroundings was seen as timely. Waterloo and nearby communities have been reported to be hotspots for land disputes over the years. So, such platform was an eye-opener to recent reforms on land issues in the country. Attendees were taken through on the functions of the Land Commission, the Customary Land Rights Act, which speaks to giving women 30% representation in all land committees across the country, land registration, surveying and acquisition, among other reforms.
So this is what prompted the workshop, to raise awareness about these two acts so that people will know that in the near future they'll be working with the National Land Commission to not only register their lands but to find out or verify ownerships of lands as well as identify state lands. We want to make sure that the acquisition of land, management of land, registration of land documents is easier, more credible, so that will attract investors.
Other provisions in the land law seek to see all lands in the provinces be surveyed, registered, and landowners given title documents guided by Customary Land Act. Women advocates saw the new reform as a stepping stone to intensify their campaign.
We've gone through various topics, but for me, most interestingly is the one that has to do with the legal instruments for women to own land. So it is very, very good. It serves as an eye-opener, and it will also serve as a stepping stone in our advocacy that we do, especially for our interior off-road rural community women.
Both legislations clearly identify various customary land rights, ownership, and decision-making authority. They remove discrimination in customary land ownership and access, protect the environment and livelihoods, and promote responsible land-based investment. SLBC, Joseph Toure reporting.
A National Girls' Call to Action document for consideration of government and partners have been launched. The document, which is called the Girls' Manifesto, contains things that girls and young women need to realize their fullest potential and be useful society citizens to the country. Emmanuel Summer has the story.
The National Girls' Call to Action document encompasses 4 main areas, which are creating leadership space and participation for girls, creating employment opportunities for girls and young women, increased participation of girls and young women in politics, governance and decision-making, and improving health care services for girls and young women. Executive Director of Girls Advocacy Development Network, Anna Kagbo, says the Girls Manifesto reflects the voice of over 500 girls, young women, and 80 boys.
Sometimes we see partners, we see government taking upon themselves, acting upon our issues without bringing us on board, basically give solution to what basically is affecting us.
Whilst accepting the documents, the Deputy Chief Director of the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, Charles Vandy, called on the girls to utilize the spaces that have already been created for them.
Let's not just be using safe spaces, where are the safe spaces? But then let us also look at those safe spaces and what we can get out of those safe spaces to empower our young people in Sierra Leone.
For the country heads of CARE International, UNFPA and UNAIDS, they were moved by the braveness of the young people to constructively demand their needs from the government, giving reasons why they should be given to them.
The opportunities that you outlined, that you can realize your contribution to the future of Sierra Leone, you are the ones who will embrace those opportunities.
Manifesto that's being launched today comes at a very important time. And this is where I really want to emphasize how hopeful I am about the future of young people in this country.
The Girls Manifesto emanated from discussions in this year's National Girls Conference, which they believe government and development partners must consider the priorities they have highlighted in terms of policy formulation.
Well, now let's switch to stories in preparedness of the rainy season. As the rainy season is fast approaching, the Freetown City Council has initiated a comprehensive flood mitigation exercise with a specific focus on cleaning gutters and bridges to avert potential flooding disasters. One of the prominent locations is the spotlight of the Sembepia Bridge, commonly known as Chuba Bridge, which has unfortunately turned into an illegal dumping site over the years. Esther Sako was there in our report.
The transformation of the Juba Bridge into dump site not only posed environmental hazards, but also led to recurrent floodings impacting local businesses and communities. Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, expressed her dissatisfaction at witnessing the environmental degradation and emphasized the importance of collective responsibility in maintaining a clean and safe environment.
I would just say to Freetonians, this is our doing. Every bit of garbage that's here came from someone's house or from someone's business. Because the Lumley Market, our trucks are there every day clearing the garbage. So it's businesses, it's households in this area who have either sent their kids or used the clean salon illegal broom and blight bad guys to come and collect their garbage.
The FCC's flood mitigation efforts included large trucks clearing the bridge, accompanied by a dedicated team of workers comprising street sweepers and FCC staff members. Mayor Yvonne Akisoya's speech during the cleanup highlighted the necessity of community involvement and adherence to upcoming bylaws aimed at waste management. Market women who had to vacate the area due to previous flooding welcomed the FCC's proactive measures. Levet Agbana expressed excitement about the flood mitigation exercise and pledged, along with others, to ensure the area remains free from illegal dumping in the future.
For Dandy, where they don't can do the cleaning so yesterday.
I am extremely excited for this move. Last year, we lost our goods due to floods, but now we can have good environment to do our businesses, even if it rains. We say thanks to City Council for this development.
I tell the mayor thank you because they don't make this happen for we make the other country.
The FCC's flood mitigation efforts are not limited to Sengbe Pier Bridge or Juba Bridge. They are extending the cleanups and awareness campaigns to over 50 communities across Freetown. This community-led approach, combined with upcoming bylaws and enforcement measures, aims to create a cleaner, safer and more resilient city ahead of the rainy season. SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
Well, we are taking a short break on Message on Cushion today. We're having a message from Paramount Chief by Farmer Tas Ngobak, the 4th of Magbema Chiefdom, Kambia District.
By Farmer Tas Bankbak Lekanale. Neko soy PCNP Tando Tankambia District represent Tankande Group Parliament. Then Minayo Safety General Tankande Kambia District. So if I find anyone for me concerning Nampanga Cushion, the tell no long so I put a cover for them. So the price is by academic. Back here on Cushion and a sompa en fait à soi on soit fait en family members are so en from Gantof and the sompa si il a ce temps qu'elle paye c'est back there en from cara en Cushion yo anye matilla ki yo c'est tout quoi là comme ça tense là. Tellement de que c'était même pas un task force dans Chiefdom. Comme un coca tension. Et il y a bien comme un adjectif à Urana. Maman Boutsarana, c'est toi en police. Encore better sena. Angé me smoke soy, c'est pour faire un comme un talent. Un talent en police, c'est better ngai. On doit pas faire parce que là c'est better ngai. Les l'état c'est tirer na o. Donc on tient de plan c'est ça tina de ma boutsina comme as long as treatment. The lamp pusher, I'm already taken the boat in Chibo. I am a smoker and pusher. And two and fillet to the heading I say. I wear so it's a film now, no call and bukoye and care. Mana ma smoker pushari, es truly unfair, thank you. Ali a cop about the care and go to Lama go and push. So I'm glad that I saw the answer from Ambola. Then Mama was smoking. Later, Edding and go that is sad. I'm going to feel but allo man fee kai say the cool, allo guy feel, allo guy market at table. Elange, allo from allo man fee a bar, a firmangar, a bar to fort, a firmangar, and cabinet or okay, look out. I'm going to Tunsko government. So I'm a president Council Julius, not that be uphold, declare a state of emergency, number serious, very serious. So some days, some back can they, including many they can be receipts. But so they both kata, come as a team and bani, come as Suran Kushan, you can't offer so. Non Bema Sura that Chode. Podere, go to today. I am a tilange. Na shir, the shir damayo. Kalata manten, kalamatir. Nko so need the kamode ofi. Nko tila so etaram no so tonkala. Kana ti matir den nan sama wonga kai setinga. Kuro baya ka bendanga. Kuro spasinga action. Kuro dirai. I am your temote. Apo for far of kere sila akara akaso tila. Na smoke aqui, en fait nga smoke aqui, ara ni nga smoke aqui, en fait nga smoke aqui. En fait nga fa nga maçon. Well, so dengue, c'est ça classique now. Trump. E mas stop pampange, comme talene kanto faso. Non kuro sola ankari na kema bapo. C'est la a story afu. Ta ka kushno si ya leoni. Am police am pour ready, government am pour ready. Police every day, riori arrest from. That's was already because of my information. The road that I can't off from Bema and can the along soccer chief from along. I sorry, I'm police. The soccer information. So, okay, I can make a Me people let me now Honorable Paramount Chief by Farama Task the 4th of Magbema Chiefdom Cambia District. I mean they represent the Paramount Chief in the Parliament. I mean also now the Secretary General of the Council of Paramount Chiefs for Cambia District. And they talk to me people concerning this push menace problem. Udoka Salon, Udoka Magbema, Udoka Cambia District. People and they die, people begin and they die. Then they go astray, then they left school, and they drop out of school, then they thief. They know they live fine again and dirty, and that creates problem. And then if we left no more see them, then go draw more other people in them, other people, they will go join them, we go destroy the community, go destroy the future of this country and this chiefdom. And we're not going to sit down wait till this year go. Tell God thank you when the president don't declare state of emergency. And we say we don't plan for ready for tackle this year together with the police. We already now they come from a task force, they already they stand by, young boy, they young girl them, do not mix without the people they sell this drug here. They know they sell them, they know they bring them, they sabi their location, they sabi they host them. We get informants they already for prosecute them, so that we will give information to the police. The police then go do the arrest and charge them to court.
That was a message of course from Paramount Chief by Farmer Tas back the 4th of Magbema Chiefdom can be a district. From there, we join our spotters as Esther Marisa Marisol said.
Hello and welcome to Sport Update News. I am a presenter, Esther Marisa. In this edition of the Sport News, the Minister of Sport, Madam Augusta James Tamer, has officially launched the 2024 National Boxing Championship and International Fight at the Sport Zone Center at Lovely Beach in Freetown. Here is the report. On April 26th and 27th this year, Sierra Leone will become the first African nation to host an international fight featuring 2 international acclaimed foreign boxers from the UK and other boxers from across Sierra Leone. Minister of Sport Augusta James Tamer said she was happy that other sporting disciplines were now thriving positively in the country. She called on the athletes to prioritize their career ahead of the championship. She also affirmed the government's commitment to making the event a success.
This year is indeed a year of sport for Sierra Leone. A lot of competitions. But today, boxing has shown us that as a government, we have to pile more efforts to make sure that reality of their dreams is in order. So on that note, I want to continue to tell you to put on the upward trend, and we will fight it very hard to make sure that the Ministry of Finance understands it and gives you what you deserve to make this competition real.
The Executive Director of the National Sports Authority, Dr. Kenneth Boima, commended the Boxing Association for such great feat and reiterated government obligation committed in promoting sports development in Sierra Leone. President of the National Olympic Committee, Prince Wale, said the Olympic Committee will render a helping hand to the Boxing Association in all their undertakings. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Sierra Leone, Cheka Bimansari, $20,000 has been placed for the prize money for the fight featuring Target and John Shaw, of which the winner takes home $15,000 and the runner-up $5,000. In another development, $5,000 will be shared between the winner and the runner-up in the second bout featuring Tommy Lee and Jinji. The winner will take home $3,500 and the runner-up with $1,500. Meanwhile, according to reports, Emmanuel Safa Abdullah Doctor has been appointed as the Executive Director of the National Sports Authority, replacing Dr. Kenneth Boima. And now on the international stage, the UEFA Champions League, we've seen exciting matches as Atletico Madrid defeated Borussia Dortmund by 2-1. PSG also lost to Barcelona by 3-2. And then on Tuesday, Arsenal secured a 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich as to start late leveler stopped Hurricane, making a triumphant return to the North London in Tuesday Champions League quarterfinals first leg. And also holders Manchester City and Real Madrid shared 6 goals in a thriller to level their Champions League quarterfinal rivalry as the match ended 3 for Manchester City and 3 for Real Madrid. Well, that's it for Sport Update on News. I have been a presenter, Esther Marisa Mora, saying goodbye. Keep watching TSMBC.
Many thanks to Mr. Marisa for that sports update. Well, to end the news, the main point again. President Julius Nadabiu and the First Lady have joined the Muslim congregation at State Lodge to observe this year's Eid prayers to end the holy month of Ramadan. The Eid prayers at State Lodge gathered different sheikhs and imams in the Muslim communities around Western area. The chief imam of the Milton Magai Technical University, Masjid Sheikh Ismail Ibrahim Kuruma, has called on fellow Muslims to continue in unity and to also extend love to non-Muslims. Therefore, the need for them to join in the fight against substance abuse that has led many young people into what he called an evil deed of the flesh. And the Ministry of Health, together with the Syrian Traditional Healers Association and other partners, have developed a comprehensive national policy on traditional and comparative medicines as a way to complement modern medications. With that all we can share in this edition of Newshour, I have been Cynthia Kamara. Eid Mubarak. Good night.